Discussions of the smart city epitomize a new paradigm shift in urban planning and cities in general. The smart city plan obviously requires smart technologies and infrastructure to succeed. However, the ultimate goal of smart city plan should draw attention on a holistic and harmonious city building approach to recuperate the areas in need. It particularly weighs on social, cultural, historical, and environmental, and technical or technological dimensions of urban space that are often neglected of the physical and economic growth and restoration. By taking a further critical reflection on the smart city, smart urban development, I argue for the need for unfolding a creative engagement with citizens and their reworkings with new smart technologies, infrastructure, and governance in embracing the diverse perspectives and opportunities of living in the smart cities, which I consider as smart engagement. I understand it is not a completely new concept for the Sejong city. Based on what I have witnessed from the presentations in the forum, reading the implementation plan for Sejong Smart City, and also from my own experience to visit Sejong. I co-led a study abroad trip to Korea with Gonhwa-oh Department of Geography at University of Washington, where I am, in summer 2019 for the Mapping Communities in the Smart City seminar. The goal was to see what smart city and technology means on the ground. Learning firsthand about the smart city and seeing the real examples of the smart, as you can see, including smart poles in the park in Sejong. We visited Busan, Songdo International District in Incheon, and Sejong as well. It was a great experience. I was particularly impressed at that time by the Sejong's effort to establish a smart governance to draw more participation from the citizens, which was quite distinctive from other cities' approaches to smart city development in Korea. I want to further argue for ever stronger efforts to channel the creativities of ordinary urban dwellers into smart cities as a way move toward building smart community and smart digital citizenship. Technologies are the foundation of smart cities. ICT, camera, sensors, Internet of Things, computers, maps, GIS. Even newer smart technologies are being implemented in the Sejong Smart City Plan, as you can see here. Big data, cloud, AI, blockchain, digital twins. It is important to understanding how these new digital smart technologies and infrastructures become pervasive and interconnected and are also embedded in urban space and people's everyday life. In general understanding of smart cities, it provides a technical or technological, digital, and smart solution to urban problems or issues. So make cities more responsive, efficient, sustainable, and safe. New visions of smart cities are created and realized. Often work with large corporations like IBM, Cisco, Google, and Microsoft. We will see Google's, more specifically Sidewalk Labs, vision of smart city in Toronto waterfront. In Seattle metropolitan region, we are seeing Microsoft version of smart city in Redmond, Washington, installing over 30,000 Betty sensors spread across the 500 acres campus over 60 million budget. It exemplifies new possibilities and challenges of smart city. More smart city models have been built, including SEJONG's own. As a result, a new global urban hierarchy seems to be created. Smart city versus less or not smart cities. Uneven distribution and implementation of the smart city ideologies, practices, and technologies across the city, region, and the world create unequal geography of smart cities. Its impact is also trickled down to the neighborhood and community level. Smart communities versus less or not smart communities. Smart city, as we all know, is a combination of two words, smart on the left and city on the right. But I wonder if our focus has been heavily on smart, but not much on cities in smart city discussion though. From a smart city perspective, a city seems to be a set of information, data, and manageable systems that act in rational, mechanical, linear, and systematic ways. The extreme case city as a computer. From an urban planning perspective, and also based on our experience because we are living in the city, we, however, know that cities have a full culture, politics, competing interests, and even wicked problems and tensions. And they are complex and ever evolving, full of independent or interdependent, contingent and relational actors, processes, and relationships. Cities are also difficult to predict and develop in capricious ways. So to me, it is a question of urban, indeed smart urbanism, as the way and mode of life, attitude, values, and patterns of behavior fostered in smart urban life and setting. So for example, Rob Kitchen presented a promise of smart urbanism, as you can see in the slide, with 6 components. I also see SEJONG's 7 innovation factors that constitute SEJONG's smart urbanism, namely mobility, healthcare, education, governance, culture and shopping, job, energy, and environment, and also, I believe, combination of all 7 factors. Responding to smart urbanism, Saskia Sassen once argued that urbanism, and we can actually include smart urbanism here, must be crowdsourced and, interesting word, hacked. It must be rethought from palatial perspective by putting people and place in the heart of urban planning. To me, it speaks for the importance of creating interconnected places where the city and its citizens talk back and forth and back each other. Smart urbanism enhances the engagement with citizens and improves the way the smart city includes citizens on policy and urban planning process. As an example, you can see here, Setter's hackathon. Sharing for public-private data together is a great example for that. So one of the key points I want to make here is that we need a smart city planning based on a more nuanced and relational understanding of cities. For example, how can we proactively rethink about our own vision of smart urbanism? For whom and for what purposes should smart cities be developed? Are there benefits for certain population or areas of the city and not for other people and space? What about significant urban problems that are left out of traditional smart city models, such as marginalizing communities, failing of school and health system, urban poverty, crime, gentrification, lack of housing, unaffordable housing, displacement, jobs, and so on? How can smart cities create more democratic and even emancipatory and participatory smart governance? Different motivations and visions are embedded in different smart city models. Urban imaginations of the future city seems to be already realized, materialized in Sejong, and I see a clear vision. As you can see in the slide, Sejong Smart City is building a harmonious and happy city for everyone, including often underrepresented people like children, women, the elderly people. Sejong Smart City promotes a balanced development between urban and rural, as well as the old and new city centers, which I consider as smart urban regeneration. I witnessed this by visiting again Sejong in 2019 and also Jocheon, particularly near the Jocheon station. Continuing focusing on inclusion and equity in the smart city, I'd like to turn to examining the foundational tension in the smart city. Innovations and new development are key to the smart cities models of urban development, and they rely on phenomena such as the creative economy, R&D, research and development, entrepreneur talent, technical innovation, and startup, etc. This approach sets in play political economic processes that make it harder for many disadvantaged and marginalized urban residents to live in the smart city or to live well in the smart city. Series example. We are routinely in the top of rankings of the smartest smart city in North America, rankings that evaluate the density of sustainability initiative, tech startups, open data initiative, and ability to attract creative and entrepreneur talent. The picture shows the Amazon headquarters, their promotion of the smart sustainability. Yet, in parallel with the developments and efforts to create an equitable smart city, Seattle has also become one of the least affordable cities in the US. We are in the midst of the worst shelter city crisis in the city's history, with unprecedented numbers of homeless people living on the street, low-income families, the elderly, the racial minorities forced to leave the city in high numbers because of housing and living costs. To build an equitable smart city, so these are one of the two cases I want to share, one in Seattle, the other one is in Detroit. Smart Seattle project is launched by a collaboration of the city, King County Metro, Microsoft, and the University of Washington. It characterizes Seattle's smart city, which had charted a little bit different course from other US cities in terms of enabling the collective power of millions smart decisions in real time, including the everyday citizens. As you can see, which I highlighted in the purple line, the plan enabled the collective power of the people. So it's part of the smart governance. Innovation Advisory Council, for example, addresses the city's priority areas of homelessness, affordability, mobility, and delivery of basic services using a lens of race and social justice. Equity areas are identified, and then the focus are given to those areas. So on the map on your right side, the orange area is that equity area, City of Seattle identified. As an example of creative and critical citizen-led, technology-enhanced urban management and efforts, the Detroit Community Technology Project demonstrates another powerful case. It aims to create technology rooted in community needs that strengthen neighbors' connection to each other. It showcases what a digital community platform would be for enhancing of community participation and how the smart city support those who believe technology as something that can stimulate and amplify the abilities of citizens and communities. There are two primary projects are called one Data Justice Program, the other one Equitable Internet Initiative. Data Justice Project holds actually very interesting idea that the conflation between surveillance, security, and safety might not have necessarily made communities safe. So the idea is that the project understands that in order to create true safety, we must strengthen interpersonal connections, resources, and opportunities within our communities, on and offline. Working with Data-Driven Detroit to gather and house data, an interactive map like this Project Green Light map is created displaying the location of project participants sourced from the City of Detroit's open data portal. So this is basically a ground-up version of the community asset map produced and consumed by the citizens. The Equitable Internet Initiative, EII, supports historically marginalized residents to build and maintain neighborhood-governed internet infrastructure that fosters accessibility, consent, safety, and resilience. So Detroit has been one of the country's worst connected cities since 2015. 30% of homes have no internet, 63% of low income have no broadband, over 70% of school-age children have no internet access at home. So Equitable Internet Initiative is trying to create a healthy digital ecosystem that allows the communities to fully realize their right to communicate, participate, and fully engage in all areas of society. All of these examples from Smart Seattle, Detroit Community Technology Project, show us that there is an important role for active and participatory digital citizenship in smart cities. They regard the engaging with citizens living in the city as essential to smart city making. They also value technology as a way to make citizens and communities be smart or even smarter, yet also recognize the importance of sociality, spatiality, ties, relationship existing in community context. Sejong is leading the way, I admit. I'm keenly aware of Sejong's innovative Living Lab process as an outstanding user-driven smart city platform, for example. Sejong can catalyze a creative digital engagement with the citizens through this already established smart governance and engagement infrastructure. They can also lead to create an ideal smart community. A community that values technology as a way to be smart, but recognizes, again, sociality, spatiality, urbanism, community ties, relationship, digital stewardship as central to city structure and also even emotional attachment to urban place. That's how we unbind the potential of smart engagement with ordinary citizens. I'm so grateful to the forum organizers and all participants for giving us such an important opportunity for this transnational learning and conversation about smart city development with an exemplary case of city of Sejong. Thank you. 감사합니다.